My father came to the United States from Cuba. Yours came from Mexico. Can you tell us his story?
Yeah, he's told me when he was around 18 is when he wanted to come to the U.S. to to have a better life for him and to have a family here in the U.S. So he pretty much crossed the border. He walked the desert and came over to the U.S. and he got deported back a couple of times and pretty much finally made a life here for himself and his family.
Walk the desert? How long? How far?
It could be anywhere from like 50 to 100 miles, depending on where you go. Crossing the desert from Sonora to Arizona. Um, it's a big patch of desert. Depending on where you go, it's all desert. So
If you're anything like me, Cain, the sacrifices this man made for me, I'm not as brave as he is. I'm not as strong as he is. Now, you're a different animal. You're a different creature. You are brave and you are strong, but do you feel the way I do where you aren't as strong as your father was, making the sacrifices he did for you?
I feel like I have it easy. I feel like he did all the hard work. Um, and I feel like I have it easy now. So, regardless of what I'm doing, the hard work that he put into his job and anything else in his life, I feel like I do the same thing for, in my sport, but I definitely had it easy.
How often do you see fear in another man's eyes when you're fighting him?
I don't know, man. In the weigh-ins, I try to look at my opponent's eyes and see if he's going to crack, You generally see that sometimes.
But can you feel it during a fight? Can you feel during a fight that a man is afraid?
You can't feel it in a fight that he's afraid. You can feel him start to kind of tumble down as far as his energy level and everything else like that. You can feel that diminish a lot. But as far as his fear, no.
When was the last time that you were scared while fighting? Any kind of fight?
Any kind of fight. You don't really. I wouldn't say I'm ever scared. I feel like I'm nervous when I go out there, but never to the point where I'm scared.
But even as a kid? As a kid, you had to be scared fighting the first time. No, when was the first time you got into a fight? You had to have been scared, no?
I must have been real little when the first time I got in a fight, but it wasn't like I was scared. I mean, it was I'm gonna beat this kid's ass. That's what it was.
So you have literally never been scared while fighting? Never? Not even as a kid?
Probably just nervousness. Not. I wouldn't say you're scared or anything else like that.
Anything bad about being as big as you were? Was there any negative to being the bigger kid than anybody else?
No negatives. Just normal stuff. Other people calling you fat. You know what I mean? Which kids. I mean, we joke around and stuff like that, and we'll say stuff to each other. But I wouldn't say anything else like that.
When was the last time someone called you fat?
In the gym, probably yesterday.
Were you a fat kid?
I think I was a little bit on the chubby side, yeah. But I was always athletic, so I mean, when somebody called me, a bad name or something, I mean, I could definitely beat them up, and I could definitely, probably, I was just a better athlete than them.
When did you first realize, Cain, when did you first realize I could make a career out of beating people up? I could make it my livelihood.
When I was in college at Arizona State, I was wrestling there, and pretty much, I saw the sport growing, and I told myself, man, that I want to start doing this sport after I'm done with, getting my degree in wrestling, that I want to start doing MMA. I just thought that nobody could beat me in a fight. Just wrestling wasn't enough anymore. I wanted to strike.
That's well put right there.
Yeah.
But you weren't satisfied just grounding somebody into the ground. You wanted to be able to use your fists and your elbows. It was too
Yeah.
limiting. Wrestling was too limiting for the pummeling that you could administer.
Yeah, I found myself wanting to hit my training partners and my opponents when I was wrestling. So I thought this would be perfect for me.
So you're going to find MMA too limiting at any point? You're going to want to shiv somebody? You're going to want to bring a machete in with you? You're waiting for that to become the gladiator sport of the future?
No, this is perfect right now for for what we're doing. Yeah.
Does Cain Velasquez, one of the baddest men in the world, have any irrational fears? Are you scared of spiders, of insects, of something wimpy? What's wimpy about you?
I'm kind of scared about ghosts. Yeah.
But I mean, if there were ghosts, I think we'd all be scared of ghosts if they were around. Do you have anything about you that's wimpy?
Well, I've never seen a ghost, so I mean, if I've never seen one, and how can I be scared of them?
When's the last time that Cain Velasquez wept about something that he's embarrassed to admit made him cry? A movie, a Toy Story. Well, you know, some big, tough Cain Velasquez is in the movie theater, and he's just blubbering.
The last time I remember we were watching, what was it, Terminator 2? When at the end, when the Terminator pretty much like kills himself. But that was, I mean, I was young back then. But I mean, I still remember it now. I'm like, man, that was pretty sad. You know, he's going down in the lava and he's like has that thumb up all the way down.
Terminator 2. How about recently? Like, not that Titanic is recent, but anything
Titanic
recent? No.
No. The last time I remember was that movie.
My father has a question for you, Cain. Go ahead, Poppy.
Give me a tip to win a fight.
Tip to win a fight: train hard and study your opponent.
You're gonna lose, Dad. You're gonna lose, Dad. Train hard, study your opponent, and look like him, and be as mean as him, and be as skilled as him. Cain, thank you. Cain, gracias.
Gracias, Caín.
Muchas gracias a ti.